My beloved child, I need you to stop right now, not in a moment, not after you finish that thought forming in your mind, not after you scroll 1 inch further. Right now. Lay everything else aside, because what I am about to speak into your spirit has been pressing against the walls of heaven since before your eyes opened this morning. And I, Archangel Michael, warrior commander of the armies of the Most High, divine shield over chosen souls, have been standing just outside the edge of your awareness, waiting for this moment, the moment your eyes found this message. I tried to reach you earlier. I sent a chill across the back of your neck when the temperature in the room had not changed. I dropped a sudden heaviness into your chest with no physical cause. I made you pause in the middle of an ordinary task and feel, without explanation, that something required your attention. That was me, child. That was heaven knocking. And today, you finally opened the door. What I am carrying to you in this moment is not a spiritual encouragement to brighten your afternoon. This is an emergency, a personal, specific, heaven-dispatched emergency that has your name stamped on it with divine authority. Something has happened. Something was uncovered. And the people of God who guard your path have been in active formation around your timeline since the early hours of this morning, responding to what was discovered about the attacks that were being coordinated against your life. Listen. With more than your ears, child. Let your spirit receive this, that quiet, deep, ancient part of you that already knows when something is real. That subtle trembling you may feel in your chest as you receive these words. That is not anxiety. That is recognition. Your spirit knows the voice of the angel assigned to protect it. And I am speaking to you now as directly as I have ever spoken, because what I must tell you cannot wait. Someone targeted you, not in a vague, general spiritual warfare kind of way. Specifically, with a plan, with money exchanged, with instructions given in the dark to a private investigator who was hired to follow you, watch you, document your patterns, study your relationships, gather information from your past, and build a picture of your private life that could be used against your divine destiny. Someone who has access to details about you. Someone who has been present in your world with a face that offered you warmth, made this decision against you. They paid for this. They set it in motion, and they believed with confidence that it would succeed. But here is the word that heaven sent me to deliver to you today. That investigator was caught before a single piece of the gathered information reached the hands that paid for it. Before one document was delivered. Before the plan could be executed. The investigator was intercepted, exposed, and what he revealed in that moment of exposure has shaken the people behind the scheme to their core. Because when God places his hand over a life, not even the most carefully designed human operation can reach past that hand without triggering a divine alarm. And heaven's alarm sounded this morning. It sounded for you. The people who hired this investigator are facing something they did not prepare for. They thought they were working in darkness. They believed that layers of distance and plausible deniability would protect them from accountability. They were operating with the arrogance of people who have done this before, who have successfully manipulated situations in the shadows without consequence. But they did not account for one thing. They did not account for God. And when you have forgotten about God, you have forgotten about everything. Stand still in your spirit for a moment, child. Let that truth settle. The plan that was formed against you has failed. The attack that was designed to reach your divine timeline before your breakthrough could complete was intercepted. And in the moment of that interception, what was meant to be evidence against you has become evidence against them. The very act of targeting you has exposed them to the same divine scrutiny that they thought they were bringing onto you. What they sent out has returned to their own door. That is not luck. That is the justice of a God who does not sleep and does not forget whose name is written in his hand. And your name, beloved, is written there. Today I am telling you, your name is written in the palm of the hand of heaven. Not as an afterthought, not as a name among millions where yours might get missed. Specifically, personally, with divine attention. God knows your address. He knows the exact weight of what you have been carrying. He knows the names of every person who has taken advantage of your kindness, betrayed your trust, spoken against you, in rooms where you were not present to defend yourself. He knows all of it. And today, he is beginning the process of making it right. There is a divine timeline over your life. I need you to understand the weight of that phrase. Not a plan that might unfold, not a possibility that depends on whether you perform well enough, or pray loudly enough, or earn the right to be blessed. A divine timeline. Events that were inscribed before you were born. Relationships that were designed for you with your specific capacity for love in mind. Healing that was appointed for your body, your mind, your emotional world, your generational patterns. Financial restoration sealed and ready for delivery. A love real and clean and built on truth that was crafted with your particular wound and your particular gift both held in view. This timeline exists. It is real. And it was accelerating. Someone felt that acceleration. Someone close enough to observe the shift in you noticed that you were no longer exactly who you used to be, that you were releasing things you were never meant to carry, that you were making decisions from a deeper place, that you were choosing your peace over people's approval, that your prayers had changed from desperate asking into something quieter and more grounded. And that growth disturbed them, that becoming frightened them, because a you who is confused can be controlled, a you who is healing can be delayed, but a you who is awakening to your divine assignment, who is beginning to walk with the authority heaven placed in you. That version of you cannot be managed, cannot be stopped. So they tried to stop the becoming before it could complete. They tried, and they failed, and heaven decided to use their failure as the signal that your elevation was no longer delayed. I want to ask you something honestly, child. Have you felt recently like you were being observed in ways that made no rational sense? Have you walked through a store and felt eyes tracking you without anyone visibly watching? Have you sensed conversations happening about you in rooms you were not in? Have you noticed unusual activity around your phone or accounts? Small things that felt off, but that you dismissed because you could not explain them? It was not your imagination, child. Your spirit was picking up what your natural senses could not fully process. There was surveillance happening. There was an investigation. And your discernment was working exactly as God designed it. But I also need to tell you this. You were being protected. The same divine sensitivity causing you to feel watched was operating alongside an invisible shield actively blocking the worst of what was aimed at you. Every trap set along the path they intended to push you down, an angel was standing in the way. Every piece of information gathered to harm you in a specific way, something interfered with its delivery. Every moment, the plan should have succeeded according to their calculations. God confused their language and disrupted their coordination. Today, I am showing you what was happening behind what you could feel. And what was being planned against you went deeper than surveillance. The investigator who was caught was not only gathering current information, he was digging through your history. He was looking for mistakes, for vulnerabilities, for moments in your past where you made a wrong choice, or trusted the wrong person, or fell short of who you wanted to be. He was building a case, and somewhere in that case, there was a document, a forged document, something bearing your details with information about your life, altered and arranged to create a false narrative, designed to delay something that was meant to benefit you, something financial, something that had your name attached to a blessing that was in the process of being released to you. That document was going to be delivered. It was going to reach the right hands to delay what was coming to you. And for a brief moment in the spiritual realm, the scales hung in suspension. Would this work? Would this interception succeed? Would the lies reach their destination before the truth could be established? And then God moved. In a single night, in a governmental office, in a conversation that the people behind the scheme had no awareness of, someone noticed an inconsistency. Something in the document did not match. A detail was wrong, and that detail led to a question. And that question led to an investigation. And that investigation led to the exposure of the investigator. And the exposure of the investigator is now leading directly to the exposure of the people who hired him. What they designed as a weapon against your blessing has become the chain that is now wrapping around their own plans. Child, this is what divine reversal looks like. This is God operating in the machinery of human institutions. This is heaven, working through the ordinary events of ordinary days in ways that are invisible until they are suddenly, unmistakably, undeniable. And you need to see it clearly, because the enemy wants you to dismiss it. He wants you to chalk it up to coincidence. He wants you to shrug your shoulders and move on and miss the sign that heaven just placed directly in front of your eyes. But I'm telling you now, as the Archangel assigned to your protection, this is not coincidence. This is God. This is your testimony beginning. This is the first chapter of a story that will eventually make you cry, not with pain, but with the overwhelming recognition that you were never alone in any of it. Now I need you to hear the warning that comes with this revelation. Because the exposure of this plan does not mean the people behind it will immediately disappear from your world. In fact, in the coming days, as the panic begins to set in for the ones who organized this, there will be an attempt at reconnection. Someone from your recent past will reach out. They will approach you with something familiar. It may look like reconciliation. It may sound like an apology. It may carry the very words you've been quietly longing to hear. Words about understanding you, about having been wrong, about wanting to make things right. Do not open that door, child. Do not respond to the second message from someone who sent you multiple in quick succession. What is dressed in the language of love, but arrives immediately after your spiritual breakthrough has been revealed, is a countermeasure. The enemy does not give up when his first plan fails. He recalibrates. Stay alert, stay in prayer, and stay behind the protection of heaven's counsel. Now, I am going to give you a divine instruction that will activate the next layer of your protection. Share this message right now with at least 3 people. Look at the names and faces that just came to your mind in this moment. Those are not random. Those are people that heaven chose for you to reach. Text them. Send this video through your WhatsApp groups. Put it on your Facebook and tag the friends who need to hear this. Post it to every prayer group you belong to. Because the same coordinated spiritual interference that has been operating around your timeline may be surrounding someone you love. And the moment you become the vessel through which this truth reaches them, you activate a covenant of shared covering. God watches who spreads his word. He records who becomes a messenger. And when you complete this assignment, the protection that has been active over your life will expand in ways that even you will be able to see without it being explained to you. 3 people. Now, before you read another word. Good. Now let me continue revealing what heaven has shown me about your situation, because the story does not end with what was exposed. It is only now beginning. I want to speak to something that may have confused you deeply over these past weeks and months. You may have felt your energy crashing unexpectedly, draining out of you in waves that left you exhausted without having done anything physically demanding. You may have had dreams that left you waking up with your heart already racing before the dream content even registered in your conscious mind. You may have had moments of sudden, intense sadness that had no obvious trigger, or sudden anxiety that descended on you in situations where you would normally feel calm. And you may have questioned yourself, am I losing my mind? Am I imagining things? Is there something medically wrong with me? I am here to tell you today, child, none of that was your imagination, and none of it was a flaw in your mind. It was spiritual pressure. It was the weight of an attack designed to weaken your discernment before the main assault landed. The Investigator story, the forged document, the attempt to block your financial blessing. Those were the visible weapons. But there were invisible ones too, and your body and spirit were feeling both. The same people who hired someone to watch you also released words against you, spoken in private, behind closed doors, in the company of people who do not know you, but who are willing to receive a distorted version of your story. They planted doubt about your character in conversations you never knew were happening. They built a narrative in certain circles that portrayed you as someone other than who you are, and that spiritual weight of false accusation, even when it has not yet reached you through natural channels, has an energy that the spirit of a sensitive person can feel. You have been feeling it. It is real. And today, God is dismantling it. Here is what heaven is doing. Right now, with every word that was spoken against your name in those private conversations, each false statement is being held in the record. Each distorted account, each half-truth wrapped around a lie and dressed as concern, every one of them is being cataloged with divine precision. And the same way that a document designed to block your blessing was exposed by one small inconsistency noticed in a government office, the words spoken against you will be exposed by the inconsistencies between what was said and what your life actually demonstrates. Truth always has more evidence than lies. Always. It just sometimes takes longer to be recognized by the people who needed to see it most. Your character, child, is your greatest defense, and you do not need to fight to protect it. You do not need to call people and correct the record. You do not need to confront anyone or craft your rebuttal or engineer a situation where your side of the story gets heard. What you need to do is keep being who you are. Keep showing up with integrity in spaces where you could choose otherwise. Keep loving with consistency in situations where others would have closed off. Keep demonstrating through the quiet evidence of how you live what kind of person you actually are. Because time is always on the side of the truthful, and God is always in the business of public vindication for the privately faithful. I also need to speak to something that you have been feeling in your body. Child, this is not the first time you have gone through a difficult season. You have been through pressure before. You have walked through seasons that felt like they were designed to break you. Seasons where every direction you turned seemed to produce another obstacle, another disappointment, another reason to question whether the God you prayed to was actually present. You survived those seasons. You are standing on the other side of things that were meant to be your ending. And the reason you survived them, the reason you did not break when breaking, seemed like the only option, the reason you kept praying when the silence felt unbearable, was not willpower alone. It was because there was an archangel positioned around your life, dispatched to your address, working in the invisible spaces around you to block what you never even saw coming. Today, that protection is not less than it was in those previous seasons. It is more. Because the threat was greater this time, the response has been greater. Because the stakes were higher, heaven committed more resources to your defense. Because you are closer to what was promised to you, the interference from the enemy has been more intense. And so has the angelic response to that interference. You are more covered right now than you have ever been in your life. And the evidence of that covering is the fact that you are here, reading this, still standing, still breathing, still with the capacity to receive what I am speaking to your spirit. That is not nothing. That is everything. That is the proof of a divine assignment being protected all the way to its completion. Let me also speak directly to your relationships, because this area has carried some of your heaviest confusion. People have left without explanation. Connections you invested in deeply have gone cold in ways that made no sense to you. Friends you trusted with parts of yourself that you rarely share have pulled away at moments when you needed them most. And you have asked yourself whether you did something wrong, whether you were too much, whether there was something about you that drove people out. Stop asking that question, child. Stop rehearsing it. Because the answer is not what the enemy has been whispering. People did not leave because you were too much. People left because heaven removed them. Because the next chapter of your life cannot accommodate everyone from the previous chapters. Because there are rooms in your future that require a specific quality of people to walk alongside you. And the ones who left had already demonstrated they did not have what those rooms required. God was protecting you by releasing them. Even when it hurt, even when you did not understand. Even when the silence of their absence felt louder than any rejection you had ever experienced. What is being built around you now, in terms of relationships and community, is going to feel completely different from what you have known before. The people who are being aligned with your life in this next season were chosen not just for who you are today, but for who you are becoming. They will see you correctly. They will not need you to shrink or perform or manage their reaction to your full self. They will carry a quality of safety that you have been searching for in human connection, since before you even had the vocabulary for what was missing. That is what is approaching your life. And it is approaching because you endured the season of removal without becoming bitter and without closing the part of your heart that was designed to love. If you are still reading this, and if your heart is currently in that place where it recognizes every word as truth, even before the mind has fully processed it, then the channel that carried this message to you needs your presence. Subscribe to Letters from Archangel Michael right now, today, before this moment passes. Because this channel was not created to produce content. It was built as a vehicle for divine transmission. The messages released here are not written from human inspiration. They are received through spiritual discernment and delivered to the people whose spirits are tuned to this specific frequency. And if this found you, it found you because your frequency is aligned with what heaven is speaking right now. Stay connected. Subscribe. And make sure every message reaches you as it is released, because what is coming through this channel in the weeks ahead is going to continue to speak to exactly what you are walking through. Now, I need to speak about what is directly ahead of you, because I did not come only to explain what happened. I came to prepare you for what is coming next. And what is coming next is going to require you to be spiritually sharp in ways that you may not have needed to be before. In the next 48 to 72 hours, you are going to receive a communication. Not the counterfeit connection I warned you about earlier. That will come in a different form. This communication I am speaking of now is legitimate. It may arrive as a phone call from an unexpected direction. It may come in the form of a message from someone you had almost given up on hearing from. It may appear as a letter or a notification related to something financial. It may even be a conversation that you did not initiate with someone who approaches you first. Whatever form it takes, your spirit will recognize it as significant. There will be a quality to this communication that feels different from the ordinary exchanges of your daily life. A weight to it. A sense that something is shifting in real time as you receive it. That is the signal. When that feeling arrives, child, listen more than you speak. Receive more than you react. Ask heaven for clarity before you respond, because what is being initiated in that communication is the beginning of the next phase of your divine timeline. And the phase that is beginning is one that heaven has been preparing for longer than you know. It is the phase where compensation begins, where what was taken from you through the manipulation, the delays, the lies, the blocked blessings, begins to come back, not in the exact form it left, because what returns through divine restoration is always better than what was lost through human interference. It comes back cleaner, more solid, more aligned with who you actually are now, rather than who you were when it was taken. It comes back with no strings attached to the people who try to use it against you. It comes back as yours. Fully, completely, without debt, without manipulation, without anyone standing over it telling you what it means or what it should cost you. I also need to address the physical dimension of what you have been experiencing, because your body has been communicating something important. Have you noticed that certain environments have felt unusually heavy to you lately? That places you used to move through without difficulty have started to feel energetically dense, almost like walking through resistance? Have you noticed that after spending time in certain relationships, your energy drops in ways that take hours or days to recover from? Have you had physical symptoms that your doctors have examined and found no clinical explanation for? Pain that moves, fatigue that does not respond to rest, tension that settles in specific locations in your body and refuses to release? These are not unrelated to what I have been speaking about. They are the physical manifestation of a spiritual weight that has been actively placed around you. The investigator I spoke of was hired to gather information, but the people who hired him were also operating in spiritual darkness, and spiritual darkness leaves an energetic residue. You have been feeling that residue in your body. Today, that residue is being addressed. The divine covering that intercepted the physical plan has authority over the spiritual dimensions of what was sent against you. As the exposure of this scheme unfolds in the natural realm, you will begin to feel its effects lifting in the physical one. The heaviness will start to ease. The restless sleep will settle. The unexplained aches will find release, not all at once, but progressively and steadily. Healing is beginning in your body, right now as this message reaches you. Receive it. Don't argue with it. Just receive it. Now, child, before I reveal the next layer of what heaven has prepared for you, I need you to activate a divine law. Share this message right now with at least 3 people. But this time, I want you to be more intentional about who you send it to. Think of someone who has been sick. Think of someone who has been under financial pressure. Think of someone who is in a relationship that is slowly breaking them. Those 3 people need what you just received. They need the revelation that there is divine attention on their situation. They need the warning about forces working against their timeline. They need the same covering that is being activated over your life right now. Send this to your Facebook. Share it in every WhatsApp group you belong to. Post it on your page. The moment you become the messenger for someone else's breakthrough, you unlock the next level of what God has prepared for yours. This is not a spiritual cliche. This is the ancient law of sowing and reaping operating in the digital age. You carry this message to someone, and heaven carries your blessing to you. 3 people. Send it now. And while you are doing that, let me reveal something that has been kept sacred and set apart for the people who understand that spiritual protection is not just prayer spoken into an empty ceiling. It is also discipline, daily, consistent, the kind that compounds over time, the way medicine compounds in the body when taken exactly as prescribed. I need to tell you about what the Alovians already know. The men and women who are already covered by the daily prayer experience at alovans.com. Because, child, what I'm about to say is going to sound confronting, but I am going to say it with love. The attacks that reached you the investigator, the forged document, the spiritual weight, the drained energy. These things found you vulnerable in a specific way, not because you are weak, not because God loves you less than he loves others, but because there was a gap in your daily spiritual armor, a gap between the Sunday prayer and the Monday morning when the enemy sent his first move, a gap between the moments of breakthrough and the quiet, ordinary days in between. The days when no one is watching and no one is encouraging you, and the weight of your situation presses against you without ceremony. The Alovians do not have that gap. Every single morning at whatever hour the day begins for them, they sit with one episode, not 3, not a binge session when they feel spiritually motivated. 1. Exactly 1. Because the sacred rhythm of daily prayer, 1 episode per morning, like a dose of medicine, does not build faith through inspiration alone. It builds immunity, spiritual immunity that accumulates day after day until the attacks that would have landed a month ago simply bounce. They do not penetrate, because the Alovian has been praying every morning in the specific way that the Season 1 episodes of Elevens are designed. And what those prayers build, child, is a wall. Not a wall that hides you from your purpose, a wall that hides you from what has been assigned to destroy your purpose. Season 1 is live right now on alovens.com. And episode 23, which was just released, is the exact episode that speaks directly into what you are walking through in this season of your life. People are listening to it this morning, right now. As you are receiving this message, Alovians across this nation and beyond are sitting with that episode, praying those prayers, building that covering. And I need to be direct with you. The link is in the description below this video. It is also pinned in the comment section. Because this moment, this message, this revelation about the investigator who was caught and the timeline that is being restored was designed to lead you here, not away from God, toward Him, through the most powerful daily prayer structure that exists for people in exactly your situation. Here is the reality that heaven needs you to receive today. The membership that gives you access to this daily prayer experience is $19.99 per month. $19.99. That is not the normal price. The normal price is $100 a month. But because you are watching this channel, because heaven arranged for this message to reach you specifically, a door was opened. 80% off. For as long as this offer remains available. And the offer will not remain available after 1,000 total members worldwide have joined. There are only 333 seats available in any given month. The angelic number, 333. And right now, as you are reading this, there are only 88 seats remaining this month. 88. Can your situation afford to wait until those 88 are gone and the door closes? Listen to what Carol from Houston shared with the Alovians community. I had been praying for years about a financial situation that was quietly destroying my family. The kind of prayer where you say the words, but you have stopped feeling them. A friend sent me to elevens.com, and I started Season 1. Day 1 felt like routine. Day 5, something shifted in my morning. Day 11, I received a call about a matter I had given up on for 2 years, an amount I had stopped expecting. I could not stop shaking. I called my daughter. She cried with me. I am telling you that Elevens did not just change my prayer life, it changed the timeline of my financial restoration. The link is in the description. It is pinned in the comments. Click it. Right now. Do not read another sentence before you open that link. Your 88th seat will not wait. And now, child, let me continue speaking to what heaven has revealed about the people who set this investigation in motion. Because you need to understand something about what their actions have triggered, not just for you, but for them. There is a principle operating in the spiritual realm with more consistency than any law of physics. What you release into the universe, whether love or accusation, blessing or curse, truth or manipulation, always returns to its source. The people who commissioned an investigator to dig through your life have just released a force turning back in their direction. The exposure of that investigator was not the end of the plan against you. It was the beginning of heaven's investigation of them. The scrutiny they paid to place on your life is now, by divine law, coming to rest on theirs. I do not say this to invite celebration over anyone's suffering. That is not the heart of heaven. I say this so you can be free from the need to pursue justice yourself. You do not need to expose them or engineer their downfall. God does not need your help to bring truth to the surface. He needs your patience, your continued integrity, and your trust that the same God who intercepted the investigator is more than capable of handling what comes next without your assistance. What you are being called to do in this season is simple, but requires more discipline than vengeance would. You are being called to focus entirely on building what is being given to you while heaven handles what was stolen from you. Focus on the door that is opening, not on the door that was closed against you. Focus on the people being sent into your life, not on the ones who left it. Focus on the financial breakthrough that is arriving, not on the financial manipulation that was attempted. Because energy directed toward what was done to you is energy diverted from what is being done for you. And speaking of what is coming, before it arrives, I need to return to Elevens one more time, because there are people hearing this message who understood what I said the first time, agreed with it in their spirit, and have still not clicked the link. They are reading on, telling themselves they will do it later. And I, Archangel Michael, need to interrupt that intention with a divine truth. Later is the strategy the enemy has used to keep God's people from the most important decisions of their spiritual lives for generations. Not opposition, not dramatic confrontation, just delay, just tomorrow morning, just after this week settles down, just when I have a little more money. And by the time tomorrow morning arrives, the seat that could have been yours is no longer available. By the time this week settles down, Season 1 has moved to Episode 25, and the window for Episode 23 has closed without you. Every day that passes without your daily prayer is a day the investigator's residue remains active in your spiritual atmosphere. Every morning, you wake up without your Elevens. Episode is a morning. Your defenses are thinner than they need to be for what today holds. Walter from Memphis shared this in the Alovians community. I almost did not join. I sat on the page 3 times and talked myself out of it. On the 4th time, I clicked the link, and Season 1, Episode 1 stopped me in my tracks. By the end of the first week, a medical situation ignored for 4 years because I could not afford It was suddenly resolved through a combination of events I cannot fully explain. An appointment I was on a long waiting list for had a sudden cancellation. At a clinic that reviewed my finances and adjusted my cost to almost nothing. Do not be like old Walter. Click it. The link is in the description below this video. It is pinned in the comments. And there are only 88 seats remaining this month. Walter found his seat. Click the link and find yours. The season you are entering does not need you spiritually undernourished. The doors about to open require a version of you praying with precision every morning. The love being aligned in your direction needs to encounter a version of you that is grounded, covered, and discerning. The financial provision moving toward you needs you spiritually positioned to receive it without the interference of fear or the lingering energy of what was sent against you. Daily prayer through Alevins does not make you perfect. It makes you prepared. And the difference between prepared and unprepared is the difference between catching what is thrown to you and watching it sail past because your hands were not ready. 1999. That is what 1 month of daily divine covering costs you today. Not $100, not what it will cost after 1,000 members have joined. Today, through the link in the description and pinned in the comments, $19.99 secures your seat. Season 1, Episode 23 is live right now. People are listening. People are being covered. People are walking into this day with a prayer already built into their spirit. And every hour you wait is an hour of today that passes uncovered. Click the link, child, the description, the pinned comment. Click it now. I am speaking to the third layer of what I need you to receive before this message completes. And this third layer is a warning, a loving, urgent, heaven-backed warning that I am delivering to you with the full authority of my assignment over your life. Share this message with at least 3 people right now. And this time, I am asking you to understand the spiritual gravity of what happens if you do not. The covering that has been described in this message, the protection that intercepted the investigator, the divine attention that has been redirected toward your timeline, it does not operate in isolation. It operates in community. It flows through networks of faithful hearts. When you receive a warning and keep it to yourself while someone in your circle walks into the same trap that was exposed here, you have participated in their vulnerability, not maliciously, not intentionally, but by omission, and heaven records the choices we make with the light we have received. Send this now. 3 people. The 3 who just came to your mind are not random. They are your assignment. Text them. Post it. Tag them. Do it before you continue reading, because the next thing I am about to speak requires that your hands are free and your conscience is clear. Now let me speak about your real identity, not the version constructed by others' projections. Your sensitivity is a design feature, not a flaw God forgot to correct. You feel things deeply because your soul is wired for purposes that require deep feeling. You sense spiritual pressure others cannot detect because you were given a form of spiritual perception most people are never activated into. You carry others' pain sometimes because you were built with the capacity to intercede for situations you may never fully understand. These are not signs that something is wrong with you. They are signs that something is right about you. The enemy has been working overtime to convince you otherwise because If you ever fully understood the nature of your own gifting, the damage you could do to his agenda would be catastrophic. That is why you were targeted. Not because of anything you own or any position you hold, because of what you carry. What is inside you that heaven placed there and the enemy recognizes, even when you don't? Your presence creates pressure in dark spaces, not because you try to, but because of what you are. And the people who hired that investigator could feel that pressure, even if they could not name why they felt the need to neutralize you. But now, you know what they were responding to. And the knowing changes everything. You stop apologizing for the weight of what you carry. You stop trying to make yourself more manageable for people who were never equipped to hold space for you. And you start operating from the fullness of what God placed inside you, without guilt, without apology, without the second guessing that has drained your energy for years. I need to tell you something about the next 30 days because heaven has shown me what is being positioned in this window. The financial adjustment I spoke of, beginning as a small opening, will become more visible in this period. You will see a number change that catches your attention. Something related to money shifting in your favor without being the result of your own direct effort. When it happens, do not explain it away with logic. Recognize it as the first tangible evidence that the divine reversal of the financial attack against your blessing has begun. Also in this period, someone will reach out about something related to your purpose, a conversation about your gifts, your insight, your experience. It may arrive as an opportunity, a collaboration, a request for something only you can provide, and it will come from a direction you would not have predicted. Do not minimize what they are offering. Do not default to the version of yourself that says, "I am not sure I am the right person." You are the right person. Receive it with the confidence of someone who knows heaven is backing their next step. But receiving what heaven is sending you in the physical world begins with establishing a daily spiritual practice that positions you to recognize it when it arrives. And that is why I will not leave this message without returning to Elevens one more time. Because I need you to understand something about the way divine covering works that most people never explain. Protection from heaven is not passive. It is not a cloud that hovers over you automatically, regardless of your engagement. It is maintained and activated and strengthened through intentional daily contact with God's Word and God's presence. And what Elevens.com provides is not religious content. It is not motivational audio with scripture references. What the Season 1 episodes deliver is a specifically designed daily encounter that builds the exact kind of spiritual immunity that the people who hired that investigator did not account for when they targeted you. Lorraine from Denver wrote to the Alovians community last week with something I want you to hear. She said, "My mother and my sister had not spoken in 6 years. 6 years of silence and separation that was destroying our entire family. My mother started Alovians in the middle of Season 1. She told me episode 17 was when something broke open in her. She called my sister that morning before she even had breakfast. She said she did not plan to. She just felt a pull she could not resist. My sister answered. They talked for 4 hours. Whatever had hardened between them just released. I watched my mother's face in the days after that call. She was different, not just happier, different at a level I cannot explain. That is what Elevens does. it reaches places that regular prayer does not always reach. The link is in the description below. It is pinned in the comments. 88 seats remain this month. Season 1, Episode 23, is live right now. Your family situation, your relationship situation, the connection that feels impossibly broken. It has not heard those prayers yet. Click the link. Let the prayers begin. $19.99. That is what stands between you and the daily spiritual covering that changes timelines. That is the difference between waking up tomorrow with the same uncovered vulnerability the Investigator's team exploited and waking up as an Alovian with a prayer already building your wall before the enemy has completed his first move of the day. The normal price is $100. You are seeing it today for $19.99, only because you are watching this channel, because heaven arranged for this message to find you, and because God wanted to make the yes as easy as possible. Don't make it hard when heaven has made it easy. The description, the pinned comment. Click it now. And now, child, we have arrived at the place in this message where I speak with the full authority of my divine commission. Not gently, not as a suggestion, as a decree, because everything I have spoken to you today has been building to this final moment, and I refuse to leave you without making absolutely certain that you understand the weight of the decision you are facing right now. The Investigator was caught. Your timeline is intact. The divine plan over your life has not been canceled. The financial blessing that was being blocked has been released from that blockage. The healing that was appointed for your body is actively in motion. The love that was designed with your name embedded in it is being positioned in your direction. All of this is happening. All of it is real. And all of it requires you to be covered daily in the specific kind of prayer that builds the spiritual immune system strong enough to sustain everything that is coming. This is your last opportunity in this message to secure your seat. Because what I am about to command you is not something I say to every person who receives a divine message. I say it to the ones who God has identified as ready, and I am saying it to you. Become an Alovian today. Not after this video ends, not tomorrow morning, right now. Open the description below this video. The link to alovins.com is there. It is also pinned in the comment section. Click it. Choose your language, English. Choose your monthly seat. Pay the $19.99 that will look so small the day you look back at this moment and understand what it activated. And start with Season 1, Episode 1 in the morning. One episode, one morning, every morning. Like medicine that the soul did not know it was deficient in until the deficiency was addressed. There are 88 seats remaining this month out of 333. The angelic number, 333, chosen because heaven does not release this covering to everyone, only to those who were called to it, only to those whose spirit recognizes what it is and reaches for it. You are reaching. I can see you reaching. Now complete the reach. After 1,000 total members worldwide have joined, the special price disappears permanently. 1,000 people. And the counter is moving right now as you read this sentence. Someone just claimed seat 246. Someone else just claimed 247. Every minute you delay is a minute the counter moves without you. and a tomorrow that arrives after your seat was taken by someone else who did not hesitate is not a tomorrow you want to sit in. Kenneth from Nashville said this to the community, and I want you to receive it directly into your spirit. He said, I am a man who does not cry easily. I have been through things that would have broken most people, and I carried them without letting anyone see me crack. I started Elevins because my wife asked me to try it with her. I was skeptical. By day 8, I was waking up before my alarm every morning without meaning to, just to get to that episode before the day started. By day 14, a legal matter that had been hanging over my family for 3 years was suddenly, without a court date, without a new filing, without any action from our attorney, resolved. I have no logical explanation. My wife does. She says we prayed our way through it. She's right. Get your seat. Get it now. There are no skeptics left in the Alovians community. The link is in the description. It is pinned in the comments. 88 seats. Season 1. Episode 23 is live. Your covering is 1 click away. Click it now. And if your heart is still asking for more evidence before it says yes, understand this. The evidence is the fact that this message found you. In a world of infinite content, your eyes came to rest on words that described your exact situation, named the specific attack against your life, and carried you all the way to this sentence. That does not happen through algorithms alone. That does not happen because you made the right choice on a menu. That is divine guidance. That is God Himself steering your attention toward the very thing He prepared for you. The only question is whether you will honor that guidance by acting on it, or whether you will read the sign and keep driving. Act on it. Click the description link. Click the pinned comment. Secure your seat in Season 1 tonight, and wake up tomorrow morning as an Alovian, covered, positioned, and prayed over before the enemy has had a chance to form his first thought about your day. Now, before this message closes, one final divine instruction. Share this message with at least 3 people you love, not as a courtesy, not as a forward that you send without reading, as an act of spiritual authority over their lives. When you share this message with someone who is under investigation, with someone who has had documents used against them, with someone whose energy has been drained by invisible attacks, with someone who stopped hoping that God had not forgotten them, you become the Archangel in their story. You become the messenger that heaven dispatched for them. And when you carry that assignment, heaven carries your blessing. The final and most powerful decree of this message is this: share it now. WhatsApp, Facebook, every group you belong to. Tag 3 names. Make it personal. Tell them heaven sent you, because heaven did send you to them. You are covered, child. From this moment forward, you walk differently because you know differently. The investigator's plan failed. The forged document was exposed. The financial restoration is in motion. The healing is active. The love is approaching. The daily covering is available. The seat is waiting. And I, Archangel Michael, am assigned to your path all the way to the completion of your divine timeline. Not for a season, not until the next test. All the way. You are never walking this road alone. You never were. And now, you know it. Subscribe to Letters from Archangel Michael and stay close. What is coming through this channel is going to continue to speak directly to what you are walking through. Every message, in real time, for the real season you are in. Stay connected. Subscribe now. Let me pray over you before this message closes. Father God, the Most High, the one who saw this moment before the foundations of the world were laid, I bring before your throne the person who has received this message today. You know their name. You know their address. You know the weight they have been carrying and the attacks that have been coordinated against their timeline. Today, I declare in your authority that the plan of the enemy is canceled. The investigation that targeted them has been exposed. The forged instruments of delay over their blessing have been dismantled. And in their place, Father, release what was always promised. The financial breakthrough, the physical healing, the right relationships, the daily covering through prayer, the divine timeline restored to its original speed. I command every lying report about this person to be silenced. I command every spiritual residue from the surveillance against them to be lifted. And I declare this new season of their life open, covered, and unstoppable in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Go now, beloved. Walk forward with your shoulders back and your spirit awake. The heaven that caught the investigator is the heaven that goes before you into every room you enter from this day forward. And nothing that was formed in darkness against your light will prosper. Not now, not in the season ahead, not ever again. I am with you. Archangel Michael,